this is the built-in cabinet. This is one method that we're trying for the first time. Basically, we're taking the cabinet and we're pre-building it in the shop, and then we're bringing it here to plaster. We're at the stage where we're plastering. We first took it in there, we dry fitted it, which means that you just place it and you pretty much try to dial it in where you want it. We needed to adjust the dome where it's going to go in. We needed to cut out some spots because it wasn't perfectly flat, so we had to back cut the dome in order for this and these two cabinets to match. They're going to be facing each other since they don't know in the camera. They're going to be facing each other, so they needed to fit perfectly parallel and square to each other. At this stage right now, we've laid them down. I wanted to be able to take them out and work just right here. It's been really nice to just work outside and not inside the dome because it's too chaotic in there sometimes. So right now we have it laid flat, and one of the things that, and we also have the shelving in the back there. Alan, thank you. We have the shelving in the back, which we're also plastering the front, the top and the bottoms. Not all of them, but most of them, because you can see them from below. So we have the back and the front plastered. Yeah, so we get a first coat. What else? And then next at this page, we're really close to installing and screwing it into the wall, placing it exactly where we want. And then we'll be putting the shelving on and finishing the faces and the seams with tape. The mesh, the fiber mesh, because if you leave a seam without any tape or fiber, you will get a crack, guaranteed. So yeah, we're going to be wrapping that, but that's once it's installed. We did all the main surfaces like this. Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to say is that we tried the first few shelves, we tried just doing the mesh and then the magnesium right on top. What was our mix for that one? Do you guys remember? We did magnesium and sand.
Yeah, it was
the very first mix was magnesium, sand.
Right.
I think that was it, right?
Magnesium, sand, and sawdust, probably.
Sawdust. Yeah.
Oh, and sawdust, yeah.
Sand.
And so when we placed the fabric, we tacked it down with staples, and then we troweled on. This morning I came, I was able to pull back a little bit. I didn't want to go any further. Thank God we have staples to keep it down. It does stick, but I wasn't happy on the full binding quality of it. And so now what we're doing is we're troweling, and then fabric, and then another trowel, and that seems to work much, much better.
And we took the sand out of the mix.
We took the sand out of the mix, and we just kept sawdust, right? Is that it?
Yeah, just sawdust.
Just sawdust. You get it much smoother. The sand, you always had some little pebbles in it. It was scratching. It didn't feel right. So now we're using this, and it feels a lot more smooth, and it's laying on nice and flat, and we've got a really good first coat. White. We're gonna put the faces onto the facade. We'll put the facade on, and whether we fabric that is a question, but probably fabric that. Yeah, we'll do a cut. We'll do the facade once it's all in, because then it's just solid, as opposed to now. If we were to do it now, it's really flimsy. It might crack on us, or it just might be more difficult to deal with.
This is what happens when you use toilet paper.
I don't think it's gonna hurt.
Oh, sorry. That's kids. Roll on there. Let's
Hold on. We'll all get it.
Is this the right side or the left side?
This
the left side.
will be the left side.
So let's set it down outside here,
Okay.
and then we're gonna have to rotate it all the way past vertical towards 8. I think we should get the other one trimmed while we got the crew.
Do you want to put it in?
Yep, let's do it.
the top. I have to go there now. I like it over the top better. I'm one that has a tendency to go over the top. Good.
So, the only thing
When you're ready to put fabric, you put the board down and then you wrap the fabric around it and make it work.
so everything will be wrapped.
Yeah.
All the wood will be wrapped.
All the wood will be wrapped. But you gotta put your shelf on too. But first is cleaning up all the boogers and stuff. He's trying to fill the voids. Okay. And then when we do the corners, we're gonna do rounded corners. So these right here are to round the corners.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is rounded and that's rounded.
So, Honey Bear, what are you doing?
Oh, we're stapling this veneer back on. We thought we might need to take the staples out due to potential corrosion. And we decided that we'll just touch up the paint if that's a problem. The value of touching up the paint is less than taking them out.
Nice.
And then we're going to put material over this and mesh it down like the shelf over here.
And plaster up to here. So throw a coat, a thin coat first, right? Get all the boogers out. What? Right?
Yes.
You don't want boogers in there. And then plaster. Throw some butter it up. That's what they say. Butter it up in here. Drop this in into the corner like that, and then throw another thin layer on it. Conceivably cut it right here to get that nice corner, because I don't know if this is going to want to hold because of that springing.
Okay.
So if you
I'll
have
cut it
to,
first, and then if it doesn't
Yeah.
work, go. So what are you doing right here, man?
yeah.
I am laying the base plaster, putting the fabric on, and then going back with another layer of the plaster and covering the fabric all the way. I get to work on my yoga poses. The crouching cabinet.
It's about like getting your position right to be the most comfortable. Okay. Erickson, the Dylan Fox in the bathtub.